In this lesson, I will demonstrate how to transform long hair into a modern short crop. I will be using a razor to show you how to remove density, creating a soft, short shape without keeping the bulk. So as you can see, our model is a great candidate for a razor haircut. Her hair is fine and soft, and therefore as I razor it, it's going to give the hair a lot more texture and a lot more movement. So we're going to take this very silky smooth hair and give it a little change in its texture. So as I work with the hair, we're going to get it wet, and then I'm going to take a section from the top of the crown to behind the ear, and I'm going to work with that back separately from the front. So I really look at the back of the head as a very different topography, as a very different geographic plane than the sides and the front. It really is dealing with different density, different shape, and even a different hairline. Once that's completed, I'm going to take a center section, and then from here I'm going to go above the occipital bone right to about the bottom of the crown, and I'm just going to create a nice soft arc angling up. So that way I'm separating the bottom from the top, and I'm really thinking about what's going to happen with her length and her density first on the bottom, and then from there I can then decide what's going to happen with her length on the surface of her hair. So I'm going to take a vertical section down the center back, and I'm just going to carve the hair from shorter to longer. So we're really creating a nice soft concave layer, but as I'm doing that, I'm not too worried about the length at the perimeter. I'm really thinking about where do I want to build the weight, and that weight really lives at that shortest piece in the initial part of the haircut. So as I take vertical sections and work round the head, so that way I create a nice soft round layer through there, I'm always going to make sure to really build that weight where I want to see that shape start. Taking soft and broad strokes, so that way the hair that I'm cutting is going to have a nice soft line to it. After I've removed that initial length around the head, then I'm going to start to work with the back perimeter length. So here I'm just pinching the hair, and I'm just using my razor, either the toe or the heel, to remove that length, just softening it up to the hairline, deciding how soft or strong I want that haircut to be. And as I work to the corners, I'm just going to round that out a little bit so she doesn't have too much of a squareness to that back shape. And again, as I work, just softening it up, taking very short strokes to create the length that I'm looking for, but still keep it somewhat soft. After I've refined that perimeter length, I'm going to begin to start to remove the density, because even though I've cut that length, and even though that length is short, there still is an excessive amount of density inside of her hair. And I'm actually going from a little bit before the mid shaft all the way to the ends, so that way that haircut will grow out not only on the length, but also on the internal part of the haircut, softening up the inside of the hair. I'm then going to follow through with a horizontal section through to the front, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to repeat exactly what I did in the back, cutting a concave layer, except here I'm going to over direct the hair slightly back in each section, so that way I can maintain a little bit of length in the front. I would rather have the hair and not want it than want the hair and not have it. So as I'm creating this concave layer, you'll notice I'm just taking soft and broad strokes, not paying too much attention to the length. That length I can then refine. It's really about creating the layers around the face first. Then after that's completed, I can pinch the hair that I want to cut a little shorter, maintaining the softness in that line. So after I've completed the length, I then want to go in and remove the density internally. So as I do this, I'm just taking vertical sections and just working with the toe of the razor, just removing that density inside the hair. So as we go on to the other side, I'm going to repeat exactly what I did on this side. I'm going to take a horizontal section, and as I work to the front, I'm going to over direct it slightly back. And as I work with this, once I've removed that initial length on the layers, then I can pinch the hair where I want to create the length actually around her face, creating a little bit more length towards the front. I'm then going to go back through and remove the density internally. Now once I've completed both sides, I'm going to check the balance, both of the length and of the layers. And if the hair feels like it's longer on one side than the other, I can go back in and refine it. So as much as I love to use the mirror and see what things look like, I really love to feel the hair and get a sense of what's shorter, what's longer, what's denser, and what's less dense, so that way I can really balance the hair out, not just by my eyes, but also by touch. So as I'm working my way through, I'm checking the length and the balance, and then I can go in as it's dried and start to refine whatever's going on with the length and the density. So once I've refined the bottom of my layers, I'm then going to start with the back. And I'm going to let that top back fall, and then we're going to start to work by removing layers. So I'm going to take a vertical section down that center back. And what we're going to do is, instead of really worrying about connecting it exactly to that undercut, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give her a nice concave layer. So as you can see, the head is slightly tilted back. And then I'm just taking long, broad strokes to create a nice soft concave layer. Now, even though I'm layering the hair, it still has a little bit of weight because I've removed some of that length. And I'm just going to work vertically, not over directing it, but actually coming around the head. Now once I've completed the layers, and again, just looking at the initial shape, I know that I have to soften up the weight, otherwise she's going to have a big clump of hair on the back of her head based on how much density she has. So I've tilted that head back so I can get some nice elevation to her density, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to soften up all of that internal weight. So that way, that crown area has a lot of movement and has a lot of options in terms of how the haircut will fall. I'm going to take a section down the center. I'm going to tilt her head all the way forward. So I'm really just going to focus on the surface of her layers. And then once I've done with the surface, I'll then connect the top to the sides. So I'm going to tilt her head forward. I'm going to take that vertical section. I'm going to connect that back layer to that top layer, and I'm just going to take broad strokes. Now, I'm not overly concerned with how long the front is going to be. I'm going to keep it a little longer just so I have a little more hair to play with, so that way if I want to take it shorter, I can. And as I work, I'm going to over direct the hair to that center to maintain a little bit more of a corner to that concave layer. I'm going to make it a little more triangular in terms of where the weight falls. So as I work, I'm going to remove that length, and then after that length is removed, now I'm going to take slightly diagonal sections, and I'm going to connect the back to the front, taking very soft, short strokes, cutting from shorter to longer as I build the layers from the back to the front. And then I'm going to continue taking those diagonal sections, carving on the inside what I'm creating on the outside, following the angle in which I create my sections to mimic what I'm doing with her actual external length. And then I'm going to repeat the exact same thing on the other side, taking slightly diagonal sections, keeping that elevation fairly low, taking very broad strokes to remove that length. Now what I want to do is I want to create a nice soft arc around her fringe. So I'm just going to cut from shorter to longer, just following that through, knowing that short hair pushes long hair into place. So knowing that the way that I'm cutting is going to help create that sweep of her angle. But I'm taking big sections and I'm just very softly working that through, knowing that I'm going to have to remove density. So with the head tilted forward, I'm going to start to soften up the internal part of her haircut. I'm going to remove the weight from the inside so she doesn't just have a clump of hair on the top of her head. So as I go through, I'm weaving from about the mid shaft to the ends, softening that up, knowing that that haircut is not just going to grow out from its length, but also it's going to grow out from its softness and its density. So that haircut isn't going to blow up on her. It's not going to be in 3 weeks that she needs another haircut. That even though I've gone quite short, she can get 6 to 10 weeks between haircuts. As the hair dries, I start to refine it, start to see what's happening, and here I'm just freehanding. So I've put the comb down, and I start to just look at what the hair is doing, softening it up, letting it dry from wet to dry, so that I can actually feel the density and the texture and see how that hair is responding in its most natural state. And as I go through, I'm just grabbing hair and just randomly removing pieces as I feel that the hair is dense and too long. And as I work that hair through, making sure that that hair feels good to me, so that I know that when I blow dry it or when I style it or when I add product to it, that all of those things will just accentuate the haircut itself. That the haircut itself, however, is in place and will do whatever I need it to do. So as a finish, I'm just going to use a half round brush to just smooth that hair out. And I'm just going to wrap it and leaf it and bevel it just so that that hair condenses down, so I can actually look at the density and the length of the haircut more clearly and then make a more finished result. I'm going to continue to dry cut with a razor, and I'm just going to grab the hair that I feel is too dense or too long and just softening it up, knowing that when I use my razor on dry hair, that I'm actually shattering that hair a little more, that I'm compromising the integrity of that hair shaft more so than when I'm doing it on wet hair. Now, just because I've used a razor doesn't mean I can't use other tools to soften up density or remove the weight or the length. So here I'm starting to use my texturizing shears to just work internally. Now, I would have been quite happy to just stop and just use the razor and continue on to finish the haircut, but I don't want us to think that just because I start with a razor means I have to finish with a razor, that I can use many different tools to create different lengths and texture. I can also start to refine some of the length using my regular shears. So here I am, I'm point cutting over comb, just softening up the balance, making sure that the hair looks the way I want. And if I want to strengthen up or refine the perimeter, I'm not limited to the razor. I can actually use my scissors, or if I want to, I can continue to work with my razor to refine this depending on what I want to create. But as I work with this, I'm still maintaining the general feel of what that razor did. So ultimately, as we work with short hair, we look at many different ways to remove length, to create softness, and to control texture. And as we do that, we can use a razor, or we can use our texturizing shears or our regular shears to control a beautiful, soft haircut.